a super interesting concept of being motivated. As we know, this field is very tricky to be in. It's a lot of work, but I think the one way that I stay motivated is just sticking to what I know and keeping in touch with the families that I work with, as well as my colleagues, both inside of my workplace and outside that I've made friends with. We're all in this space together. And I think it's super important that we just kind of sit down and have those conversations about what's stressing us or what's working well. And just building those relationships, both with colleagues and families, really just helps me stay motivated to keep my eye on the end goal, which is just to make a difference in the field of early childhood education.
And I always think about this as well. And I think one of the ways is to listen to others in the field. And that way you can hear multiple perspectives of how to do things, and it's not always you're staying in your own lane of doing things. You can also reach out and see what other people are doing as well. So that's one thing, is to listen to others in the field. Another one is to attend professional development, so workshops and things like that on a range of topics, even ones you're not so sure about. That gives you a broader wheelhouse of skills that you might be able to learn something new and then offer to others as well. So I know for me, math wasn't my strong suit, and sometimes I would stay away from math workshops. Then I realized, no, those are the ones I should be going to learn something new and to be more comfortable with math myself, so I can be better for the kids and then also share my learning with others. And the last one I would say is reflect on your practice as well. So it's important to be vulnerable and reflect on our own practice sometimes. And if there's anything that's not working, like a flow of the day or your schedule or things like that, you can try it in a different way, and don't be shy about it. Try it out. You never know how things will go if you don't try and reflect on your own practice.
Let negativity get me down. Like I said, you're always going to be met with challenges in this field. You're always going to work to your hardest and do the best that you can. Sometimes that goes unrecognized, and I feel that that can really bring a staff down. But don't worry, even though sometimes you feel unrecognized, your work will be recognized eventually, and you will get everything you deserve. You're going to get all that positive feedback you've been yearning for, and you'll see it was worth it all in the end.
Something that I really struggled with when I first entered the field years ago was building those relationships. It's super easy to come into a place and feel kind of like you're on season 5 of a brand new show. You're entering a place where people already know each other, where the families and the kids know the other educators. So it's really important to just go in with your head strong and just meet people, talk to them, get to know them, let them get to know you, just be real about who you are, and build those relationships. Take it slow. It doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen. And just remember that at the end of the day, you're there because you have a passion for working with children, and that's the most important part.
So I think the number one thing we can do is to stand up for our profession. Don't be afraid to talk about how you feel and how important the work is that ECEs do to anyone that will listen. So this can include friends and family, right up to members of parliament. Look for leadership roles as well in your programs and community that will allow your voice to be heard, such as joining a program's board of directors, for instance. And there's lots of big and small ways to show just how important the ECE field is when it comes to our future and how important it impacts our future. So always stand up and always keep talking about our field and keep joining things where your voice can be heard.
For me to remain motivated, I've had to take on different aspects in the field. I took on administration work. I took on health and safety just to learn different things and do something different while I'm at work. I feel that's very refreshing. I also feel like changing my programming, the routine of the room, the learning environment. I feel every time I change those things around, not only do I feel refreshed, but I also feel that the children in the room are also refreshed. So that's how I keep myself motivated.